As an American, when I think of glam and men, I think of the 80s. I think of Prince. Glam rock allowed for a broader category of masculinity and enforced the idea that you didn't have to be manly to be a man. But now that the days of glam rock are behind us, American society as a whole seems to have forgotten these experimentations in gender performance and expression. Why do so many people find it strange to see a male Korean artist in makeup or clothes that we consider to be more feminine? Let's take a closer look at K-pop and the versatility of masculine expression. What defines masculinity? It's a hard question to answer. There are discrepancies across cultures, eras, and between various subgroups of the general population as well. Masculinity has often been defined differently when it comes to the performing arts, music included. In the past, there's been a different standard for performers versus the average Joe. Mick Jagger and Kurt Cobain could flaunt dresses without their manhood ever being questioned, while the same couldn't be said for your brother, uncle, or grandfather. Elvis was the first artist to introduce androgyny to the music scene, and many have followed his lead since. We saw many famously androgynous performers all the way up through the 80s and 90s, but in recent years it seems to have all gone out of style. In America, anyways. Glam male looks are ubiquitous in K-pop, and thank God. Although South Korea is still very conservative in many regards, it's refreshing to see a society that doesn't think twice about a man rocking a sultry smoky eye. I should mention that K-pop also enforces the machismo masculine standard at times as well. Boy group dances usually consist of strong, powerful, and decidedly masculine moves, while the cutesy, soft, and feminine moves are reserved for girl groups only. However, there are some artists seeking to challenge this divide. In a recent interview Billboard conducted with Taemin about his single Move, he voiced a desire to, quote, go beyond what K-pop typically is perceived as, end quote. He's never been hesitant to question the industry's norms, and is constantly seeking to try something new, both in terms of musicality and style. While most male idols' dances consist of, quote, aggressive flair, Taemin tried to find a middle ground, he said. He made it a point to mix traditionally masculine and feminine movements together in the choreography, so that the dance itself would transcend gender, no longer confined by the binary markers our society has come to recognize. Quote, my body shape is like that of a dancer's. It's not too masculine or overly muscular, and I wanted to take advantage of that. I thought I could show the soft lines, like the dance movements of a ballet dancer, by adding subtlety to my choreography. I wanted to break the idea of what male performers are supposed to show, what performances girl groups are supposed to show. I really wanted to break those labels, showing that dance is a form of art. Even before Move, Taemin had embraced a non-traditional masculine image with songs like Pretty Boy, whose lyrics question, quote, why is being sensitive and prepared the opposite of being a man? I can't help but be reminded of Prince's 1999 track, Pretty Man, in the way that it celebrates a softer form of masculinity. In addition, Pretty Man celebrates sexuality in a way that isn't confined to the image of the hyper-masculine stud. Again, I'm easily reminded of Taemin's track, Sexuality. While many differences can be found between these two artists, I think it's interesting to see all the places similarities emerge. They offer an image of a man who's secure, has sexual agency, and is hardly emasculated by adopting traditionally feminine styles, moves, etc. In fact, they're empowered by this freedom of expression. Whether or not these representations of masculinity actually help to break down the binary can be debated, but at the very least, they help to construct a broader spectrum of what masculinity can be. So, there still begs the question, Even though we've seen this non-traditional masculinity in America before, why are we so confused when it resurfaces? There's a reason my more conservative guy friends scratch their heads when they see Taemin or BTS in full faces of makeup during a performance. How did we move away from the styles embraced by the princes of the world? A super cool article by Marlon Cromer for Bustle posits that this return to more classic gender expression in music may have something to do with our post-recession sensibilities. Our society tolerates experimentation less and less as we become more conservative in style in order to fit into society and secure steady employment. We saw the same drop in androgyny in the mid to late 70s as well when a recession hit. Luckily, though, we seem to be moving towards a future that accepts androgyny once more. But perhaps the change is too slow to satisfy much of our younger communities. Maybe this is one reason, out of many, many others, that K-pop and its stress on aesthetics is so appealing to people like you and me. These styles are refreshing in a way that most of us haven't seen nearly enough of in our lifetime.
미라이 너間にいる僕は今